Vortex. This is my channel all about cross stitch. Today is Friday, March 25th, and it's been about a month since the last time I have recorded, maybe a little bit over a month, I'm not quite sure. I never say what floss tube number I have because I never remember what floss tube number I have until it's time to write up my description, and then I have to look it up. But I'm somewhere in the 30s at the moment, maybe 35. And welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for checking it out. If you are returning and have watched this in the past, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate having you here. So life updates. It's always so hard to start these things. Life updates, not much has changed since the last time I recorded. My life is pretty similar day to day. And I'm sorry if I keep looking out the window, but my neighbors are having a party. So there are a lot of cars coming and going, and some of them turning around in my driveway. So that I am in front of a window. So I apologize for that. Anyways, life updates, pretty much the same. I did take a couple of months off my second job, which starts back up again, I think next week. And you would think I would have got tons of stitching done because of that, but I still have my first job. My husband and I joined a gym. I think that happened before the last time I recorded, so I might have mentioned that before, but we've been really good. We've been going 3 times a week, every week. Today was the first time our schedules didn't align for us to go together, so I was an adult and I went to the gym by myself today, and he says he's going to go to the gym by himself tomorrow. We will see if he does it, because he really only goes to the gym because I want to go to the gym and not because he needs to go to the gym. Other than that, I've been doing my dance class every week. Our outfits were supposed to come in a couple of weeks ago, but with the way things are, shipping and trucking and everything, we still haven't gotten them yet. We heard maybe in a couple more weeks, which is good for me, because then I get 2 more weeks of going to the gym before I have to fit into the outfit they bought for the jazz class. Other than that, I've just been working and stitching, and we will get into the stitching. I'm sorry, I am horrible about life updates. As probably a lot of the Flosstubers say, a lot of us are introverts, so I'm not really comfortable talking about me, although I'm trying, but I'm much more comfortable talking about my cross stitch. So that's what we'll get into. The first one, and when I say first, these are in no particular order. And let's just start out with, you are not going to hear anything about WIPGO this time around. The WIPGO numbers were called. One of the numbers was 5 hours on Bellatrix, which was just called last month. So I am holding off a little bit on that. When I start my second job back up, I'll work on it there because I am able to stitch at my second job. So I'm holding off on that, and I'll do that next month. The second number that was called was to, I think, work on Gypsy Firefly, which is a Heaven and Earth design pattern. The problem with that is I paid to have them kitted up. I ordered it back in December, right after Christmas, but I haven't gotten it yet. So I can't work on that until I get it. I did just notice that it says something different now. It was saying floss cards to be prepped, and now it says at the kitting table, so it means it's actually moving along, and hopefully I'll have it soon. I really would like to do it next month as a birthday start, and then I'll get my time in, and hopefully in April I'll get my March WIPGO goals done. If I get too far behind on WIPGO, I may just put it to the side, but right now I'm still trying to stand strong and do it, so we'll see what happens next time I record. So one of the things I have been working on is a cross stitch I'm doing for my friend Pam, who has a floss tube, Stitching It in the Land of Good Enough. She, in November, opened a store, a cross stitch store, called Stitch New England in Massachusetts, and I volunteered to stitch something for her. And this is the pattern that she picked for me to do. And we changed it a little bit. My friend Anna reconfigured right here to say stitch, so it will say Stitch New England. There is a lot of backstitch in this chart though. So I've been slowly plugging away on it. I've been doing it on my Saturday stitches. Every other Saturday, a group of us in the main area get together at a Panera and we stitch for a few hours. So I've been working on it there. And this is what it looked like last time. And Sorry, I have a hanging thread, but here is where it is now. So this is where we did the stitch in the New England. And I think I've said before, I don't iron my projects. I don't want to keep putting an iron to them every few weeks, so it'll get washed in iron when it's done, and that's when I'll hit it with the iron. But here is where we're at. These trees were a lot of fun to do. I'm getting a little bit better at my back stitching. The hardest part about back stitching isn't back stitching. Back stitching is actually really easy. The hardest part about back stitching is the back of your work, trying to figure out where to secure the beginning and the ending, because they are one stitch, one thread, so you can't do a loop start on them. So it's securing them, and I don't want to secure behind cross stitching sometimes and then have the thread go all the way over, because this is white Aida. But so this is where we're at. I think I've gotten a lot of progress since the last time. I'm really happy with this. And it's on just white, and I don't say just, it's on white 14 count Aida. It was pretty stiff when I started, but I've been working with it long enough that it's starting to soften up a little bit. And I did go ahead and I unzipped all my project bags for you because I noticed how loud they sound when I'm editing the video. And I'm going to try not to re-zip the bags, but I might do it out of habit, so I apologize. The next thing I have been working on is I started the Linens and Threads 2020 stitch along, and I think now they go by Fox and Rabbit, but I think the 2020 is still on the Linens and Threads site. And I am doing this on, and my needle minder is attaching to something else in my bag. I'm doing this on a Stitch Me fabric, Stonehenge, and I kept the card. Here we go. 20 count. So this is my fabric. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I love Be Stitch Me. I have canceled all my subscription boxes, all my all my floss clubs. So flubs is floss clubs put together. I've canceled everything because I just really would rather spend my money on what I know I'm getting, except Be Stitch Me. Be Stitch Me, I have never once been disappointed in what I've gotten. So I have to keep that one. And I am doing this on a DMC variegated floss. Now this floss has really long strips of variegation and it goes really light. So I have had to color control. So I pick and choose where I cut it. I have really long threads that I'm working with so that I can get the variegation to go. A lot of the times I do cut out the lightest part and I only put it in a few spots. So I've been doing a lot more work on this than I expected to do because technically I was going to do it monochromatic, but because of the variegation, I have found that I definitely have to color control almost as if I'm using a few different colors. And here it was the last time I worked on it. Now we did cheat. I am doing this with a few people. One of them is, again, my friend Anna, and we have been doing it in the month that we would have done it if we did it in 2020. So we did January and January, February and February. However, April is a beast. And watching other people's floss tubes back in 2020, they all said how long April took. So we did cheat a little bit and we got ourselves a head start on April. So this is where it looked like last time. I had January and February done. So I've worked on March and a little bit of April. Let me just get the needle minder off there. And this is where I am at now. So I think, let me see if I can. I did this, this, and this for March, and then started the April base. So I am loving the colors. I think it's worth the color controlling, but you can see where it can get really light in some spots. So I am trying to not have too much of the light, but still have it throughout. And one of the things I'm doing is where I'm cutting some really long threads, I'm trying to even them so you can kind of see how it's a little bit more symmetrical. I'm not just one of those wild and crazy people who can say, hey, let it land where it lands. I like symmetrical. So this is where we're at. I've had a lot of fun working on this. It's really fun when you're stitching with friends and keeping each other motivated. But I am technically done on where I need to be until April, but I might spend one more stitchy time working on this so that when April does hit, it's not quite so overwhelming. And it's up. I don't tend to cut my fabric, but I think I can probably go ahead and take a little bit off this and make it easier. I just never have it in my cutting room. All my cutting stuff is in my sewing room, and I never bring my cross stitch into my sewing room because it's not really set up to just hang out and stitch in. The next thing I worked on was my full coverage Pokemon piece. One of the things I have realized is I've started to go into a rotation, and I've always said that I would never be a rotation or work on things in a strict order. I want to stitch what I want when I want, but I have found that a natural rotation has just kind of emerged, and I've really enjoyed it. So now that I say I'm going to do this, we'll watch and see me not want to do this anymore. But what I have found I've been doing is on my full coverage pieces is I stitch in the diagonal, and I found that once I get a diagonal done, I'm ready to move on to the next piece. So I've been doing a full diagonal, and not a diagonal. I do blocks, but I do my blocks all the way down, and I do 20 by 20 blocks. I have found that is my sweet spot, is 20 by 20. The 10 by 10 was just too small for me, and I did not like cross country at all. But I found that doing 20 by 20 gives me enough space to feel like I'm getting enough stitches in, but I'm not going wild and crazy and getting lost. So this is where I am on, and I will have already previously showed you where I was last time. This is where I am now on my Pokemon Sal. And this is on the Lord Lebanon site. It is a free download. I think this is generation 1, and I did the extended so that they're not cut off. So it's a lot more background, but I think it's worth it. And I am at on this, let me see. I just deleted something off my app, which meant it moved everything into a different spot on me. Here we go. I am at 3,831 stitches and 2.7% complete. Now, one of the things I want to show you is this needle minder. I was watching Ashley at Boogie Stitchers, and I was noticing all her projects had these on it. I use my needle minders to help with my pocked thread, and I definitely need more as the project gets bigger, but needle minders can get expensive, and I want to spend my money on floss and patterns and all those fun things. And I know needle minders are fun, but for me, it's not something I want to invest my money in. So I was noticing these, and you get these right at the dollar store, and you can get a whole pack for $1. Well, I think it's $1.25 now. You can use one for the front, one for the back, so you can get 4 needle minders out of this, or you can just put a plain magnet on the back and you can get 8 needle minders. And the best part I've noticed is when I'm done with a section, the thread just wraps around it perfectly. And it keeps everything nice and neat for me. So, best thing ever. Head on down to the dollar store, get yourself a pack. And if you say, but I want something pretty, you can get pretty ones. They're just a little bit more expensive because you only get 4 in a pack, but still, just $1. So, that's the needle minder. And again, I can't take credit for it. Ashley over at Boogie Stitchers I saw these all on her projects. So I think I need to go get myself another package of them. Then when I'm done with the strip on, and that actually is coming up next, so I will probably be working on that tomorrow. I only have a little bit more to go on the project I'm working on today, and that is my Dreams of the Greens from Artecy. Oh, that was stitched on 25 count even weave Lugana easy grid, so it has the grids on it for me. This one I believe is also 25 count easy grid, and again it's Dreams of the Green. I'm doing this for my husband, and it's from Artecy. So I bought this twice. I mentioned last time I had bought this, I think, off 1-2-3 Stitch, and this was a while ago, and I started it on like 14 count Aida, and I hated how it was coming out. And then recently, when I was getting back into wanting to stitch on this because it was a Whipco call, I switched over to 25 count, and I also found out that Artecy has a site, and I was able to order this in a PDF download, and I could put it onto my pattern keeper. Game changer. I have loved working on this, and it is coming out so beautiful. And let me just, this is where it was last time you saw it, about a month ago, and I am now at 10,567 stitches in of 59,700, and I'm at 17.7% complete on this. And look at this, look at how gorgeous, look at how gorgeous this is coming out. Look at these flowers. This has been so much fun to work on. And you can see, and the best part is you wrap the threads around these, and then when you take it off to do that section, they're just all nice and neat and right there. So, but this is where I'm at. I'm starting to get into the greens. These flowers have been so much fun to work on too, because you get all this, all the sections of stitching, and then you get into a confetti area, but it's not too much confetti, but just enough to keep it fun, and the colors are so beautiful. And then when you're done with confetti, you just go back up, and then you do a sky section, and so it's nice. It's got a little bit of all the same color and a little bit of confetti. It keeps it interesting, and you know, as you're working your way down too, you get to go through so many different colors, from the blues to the greens to the reds and mauves. And so I've just finished this block. I will get a section done here, and then when I'm done with that, I'll put this away, and then I'll work on my Pokemon. One of my goals with doing this is you get a lot of, especially if you do a Heaven and Earth one, again, this is Artecy, not Heaven and Earth, but you get a lot of background. So I'm trying to, I figure if I keep these all going in a diagonal and they're all progressing, when I start another one, I'll be back up in a little section, and then I have them all at different sections so that I don't feel like every single thing I pick up, I'm at the same background spot. And this is just in a bag that I made with golf fabric that I found. So isn't that cute? And it's one of my portfolio. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this when my project's done, because I don't think I'll stitch another golf project. It's really hard to find golf cross stitch patterns. So if you are a full coverage designer, make another golf pattern. I would do another one for my husband. And then the last project I have been working on has been my Magic Study. Now this is supersized max color on 28 count easy grid Lugana, Heaven and Earth design. I have reached over 10,000 stitches on this as well. However, that only brings me to 1.59% complete. So I'm at 11,775 stitches out of 739,260 stitches. So I have a ways to go on this. This will take years upon years. I average probably now between working and then going to the gym and then finally having time to stitch. I'm lucky sometimes if I get about 200 stitches in a night if it's got confetti. I can get a little bit more if I've got some block stitching, but I'm happy with 200 stitches. So 200 stitches a night with 700,000 stitches to go and other projects, it's gonna be a while. So I am at, this is where I was last time. And again, hold on, needle minders. I thought I did so good unzipping everything, but I didn't think about moving all the needle minders with all my pock threads. All right. So this is where I am at on this. There we go, upside down. This is where I am at. It is so pretty. Now I'm doing the rainbow version. So if you've seen other people doing this and they don't have that butterfly in the corner, they're doing the original. So if you look at the rainbow version and you look at the original version, there are extra elements added to the rainbow one. The original one was her original drawing to begin with. And then when she submitted it, because she does, this is by Rose Kahn, Heaven and Earth Designs. I don't know if I said that. She does puzzles. So when she submitted it to the puzzle company, they wanted her to brighten it up. And when she brightened it up, she added other elements to it. So there are more elements in the rainbow version. So if you're looking at one and then you look at another and you notice that there's some things that are different, that is why the patterns, aside from a color change, are a little bit different as well. But I do love working on this. I think I'm starting to finally get down into where there will be a chandelier and some more dragons, because for now, after that butterfly, it was a lot of background. So I'm really happy I have that butterfly there, because if I had just had all that blue, it might have gotten a little tedious and boring, but it's been pretty exciting. Again, supersize max color. So supersize means this is how big it's going to be. I have no idea where this is going to get hung, but hopefully whatever retirement home I go into has a wall somewhere that is huge, because this will get hung somewhere. And I'll probably have to use my entire 401k just to frame this, but I will do it. And then the only other thing I worked on is I did make a bag for my friend, and hold on, my cat is laying on the bag. And it will look very similar to the bag I showed last time, but it's just in a different color. And this is for, I mentioned last time as well, we are going to do a birthday start for her. So what will happen is in April on my birthday, we're going to kit it up, and then in May on her birthday, we're going to start it, and it's going to be a Miles Pinkler, I think is his name, dragon, and let me see. We think we have it settled on the one we're going to do, but she has until April to change her mind, because what happened is I narrowed it down to a few, and then after I narrowed it down, she had to pick the one. So I think this is the one that we settled on. Again, she could change her mind, but I think, and one of the reasons I think we're going with this one is there's not so much background, like you're immediately getting into things. So I think with that, my cat's back on the bag again, but the dragon fabric goes really good with this pattern. So again, that will hopefully get kitted up in April, and we will start it in May, which will for her birthday. And then if my Heavens and Earth order gets here, I will have Gypsy Firefly to start on my birthday. So that'll be 2 new HAEDs that I'll be starting this year. I'm not on a no-buy kick, but I'm beginning to think maybe I should, because I also, as soon as I get my order from Heaven and Earth, Gypsy Firefly, if I like it, I'm going to have them kit up another one for me, which I don't know if I can get to it because I don't know my password. So this is what I hope to start also. I don't know if it'll be this year, maybe it'll be my new year, new start, but I definitely want to work on this as well. I'm just all about the full coverage now. I think I finally found my niche. I've been working on a lot of different things and I just don't finish them when I'm done, or I don't finish stitching them. And once I found the full coverage, I think that's where my passion is. When I come home after a long day, I just want to pick up a full coverage piece to stitch on. I do have, will always have some smaller projects going. For if I go someplace else, it's really hard to bring a full coverage with you. But yeah, I think I'm definitely falling down the full coverage hole. Somebody's gonna have to rescue me soon because you can only do so many of them. I wish I'd found them when I was a lot younger, because I do start doing the math. If I start it now and it takes me this many years, how old will I be? But I keep saying, well, I'll retire someday and then I'll have more time to stitch and then I'll get them all done. I think that is everything for now. And no, it's not everything. I reached over 1,000 subscribers. So if you have stuck around till the end of this video, you are going to be the only ones who know this. I am doing a giveaway. So what I'm going to do, because as I said, I have fallen down the full coverage hole, and I'm in love with Heaven and Earth designs, I'm going to do, and I did this in the past, but I'm going to do it again. For the 1,000 subscriber giveaway, you must be 18 years old or older. It doesn't matter where you live, as long as you have an email address and an account with Heaven and Earth Designs and at least 3 items on your wish list. If you meet all those criteria, then I am going to pull a name on my next Flosstube, and I will go onto the wish list of whoever I pulled, and I will pick something and I will rack it to you, random act of kindness. So Heaven and Earth lets us buy something and then send it to your email address. So in order to enter the drawing, you need to say the word dragon. You need to say the word dragon, because that is what I plan on kitting up next. That's the bag I just made. So say the word dragon below in the comments, and that is the word I will search for my next video, and we will have a winner. So until next time, happy crafting.